So you're looking to play with a created player in any of your NBA. So the first thing that you want to be doing, obviously, is going into features, and you want to make sure that you have created a player. We should have the full ins and outs of this. Obviously, you can go WNBA or obviously normal NBA. We've got a player here that obviously has been created. If we wanted to edit him just to make him that little bit better, obviously we went towards the attributes, and obviously we can add everything up to whatever we want. If we want to make everything 99, then obviously we can make everything 99. It is totally based on you, how realistic somebody wants to be. But if you wanted to make him that he is the best player or the worst player, you can obviously do that. So if we back out of that, that's not a problem. We obviously want to keep changes and return, makes him an 80 overall, if you wanted to work something like that. Once you have got that player, it's perfect, not a problem. Then you want to head back out to obviously the main menu of the options or obviously settings and go over to create a roster. Again, you can pick few leagues here. It isn't going to change them entirely, because what it will do is it will make its own custom, so make a copy of it basically. We're going to be using the official one. You can again use whatever you want in there, that is not a problem. So for instance, we want to obviously go, say we'll go with in fact, we'll go with the first ones just to make it a little bit easier with Philadelphia. You want to make sure that obviously there is enough spots in here to add you into there. So normally you will find they're pretty much chock-a-block. So obviously if we went back to the created player, we can see PG is obviously the position, point guard, and obviously we want to add him in. So if we wanted to add him in, we can go and press A on him and go and copy to team. So we'll copy to team, we'll go with Philadelphia, and as you can see, a team can most have at least 15 players on their roster during the season. So we've got to back out of this, unfortunately. RB again, we can go to all players or a specific team. So if we want to go, and we'll get rid of Harden. I don't know what happened there. And then we can go, and to be honest, you can delete him from roster. You can delete all players from list if you wanted to make your own roster. That is, obviously, we've got a lot of time. Brilliant. We're going to release him to free agency. Obviously, this is not going to affect the entire game, as it is going to be a total copy. So then we want to go back to create a player, and now we should be able to copy him over to Philadelphia. So are we sure? Perfect. If you wanted free agents, then obviously he is there. If you wanted to assign him somewhere else, you can obviously do that. So then if we go down the list, we should be beautifully right there. So then if you press, as we can see at the top left, we've got roster creator on the LTRT or your corresponding buttons. We can go into the specific teams. So luckily, I think if we go to point guards, we've got one here. What we want to look at is to potentially drop his minutes down. He must have at least 1 minute, not a problem. Whereas then we want to go into our own player, which if we should go to the bottom, he is obviously on the reserves. So if we want to pop him up, then obviously we can change him there. If you want to go more specific with it, you can obviously press the menu button, which is the 3 dashes on the Xbox, and it will show you the minutes that you can have a little play around with. Obviously, if you're really into it, then you can really dial down what you want in your sort of mode. So we'll say we'll keep changes because we've not changed anything there, and obviously you have advanced change the minutes. Yes, that is fine. And obviously with this, we want to then, in fact, I think we've moved him back up, haven't we? Perfect. So we're moving back down again, take him down to 2 minutes, and then we'll put our player back up to their minutes and save from there. So once we've done that, we can then swap the player, I believe, so we can see him a little bit easier. If we go over to our guard, we can swap him on top. We know that he's there. So once we've done that, that is going to put him in the roster and have computer rebuild rotations, fix rotations. So your rotation is currently invalid. Have it fix. Save and share roster, or just save it as normal, and obviously you save it as whatever you want. So we'll just call it JT for the moment, so we can or HJT. Okay, it must be 4 letters. Brilliant. We'll call it 9000. Perfect. No, you just can't do anything nowadays, can you? So yes, perfect. There we go. So that's going to be saved, and that is now a roster we can come back to. We can obviously change, and obviously we can make whatever we want with it. Or you can make a brand new one. So if we go to play now, we should be able to go into quick play, and hopefully, if it wants to press A, if we can load roster, which we see at the bottom left there, if you put your left analog stick in, we can use an official roster, and obviously it will load the current ones that we can do. And in fact, have we loaded it? Official. Oh, no. My apologies. It's not the official. Let's go back into it again. We want to load a a custom one, so a user-based one. Obviously, when we went to copy one, that is what we've used. So we want to go to the user created now, and you can see some people's already made them. You can download a few people. They have obviously made far and few changes, but if you tap the RB, we should be able to go to our name 9000. So once we've loaded this one up and obviously picked our team, so we'll go across here and we want to go to Philadelphia, we can see our player at the top there is actually playing. If obviously he's not, then you can go into the again the roster and change it around so it is on top to start. And that's how you play with a created player. Let me know if this helped. Make sure you like and subscribe.